compared with. I marveled the rap game on some real shit. And I ain't fucking with these rappers on some real shit. Trying to stack old chips on some stale shit. Uprise against the priest that he fell quick. Leave him running in the dark like the Blair Witch. I'm true to this shit and I can't switch. Leave him shaking like he trying to get that paint fixed. I'm going hard in the paint, bitch. Say he a god, but he ain't shit. He just impersonating. Full of that dope, you're hurting nature. Puffing that smoke, he ain't a gangster. Now it's time to expose you. Time to show you how a real soldier roll through. Death coming when it comes, let it hold you. Raised by mighty men, this how they mold you. Heart dumping like Pro Tools. I ain't nothing but the truth, boy, I told you. Style cold, it'll kill you. Cold blue, fresh like Chucky in the truth. What's the dope move, nigga? Run against the team, take his land.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'm Officer 50 Zabaja of the I.S.U.P.K. Started out 1 West, started out 125th Harlem, New York, 1 West, under Commanding General YAHANNA. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Today we're going to be talking about COVID-19. COVID-19 deaths in the U.S. are 10 times more than car crashes in the U.S. yearly, and that's this year, right? So I got an article that we're going to go into. Give me 1 sec. Let me just pull it up. Right, so right here, this is an article we got from CNN. COVID-19 has killed 250,000 people in the U.S. That's 10 times the death from car crashes in a year. Good night. Right, so COVID-19 is a plague that's been sent from the Lord, and he's not playing around. Right, so let's get into this article right here. Let me just see if y'all can see it properly. All right, I hope y'all can see it properly. If you can see the article properly, just put a 1 in the chat. Let me know if you can see it properly. Right, the Lord is not playing around. He's sending these plagues against the heathens and the Israelites, especially if you're not keeping his commandments. Right, so we're going to get into this article. In less than 10 months, COVID-19 has killed more than Salakia. In less than 10 months, COVID-19 has killed more people than strokes, suicides, and car crashes, typically in a full year combined. Right? The victims include an elderly father and his grown daughter who died within moments of each other. 2 parents who died before their son's 5th birthday. In rare cases, even children with no known prior health conditions. Health experts say if Americans don't get more serious about wearing masks and avoiding careless socializing, the rate of deaths will keep soaring this fall and winter. Right? So the health experts, they're saying that if American citizens don't start wearing masks and avoid careless socializing, the death rates are going to keep soaring. Well, I got news for you. Those death rates are going to keep soaring no matter if you wear a mask. You can't beat the Lord with a mask, right? Keeping the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments for Black people, Hispanic people, and Native Americans. That's how you beat COVID-19. That's how you ensure that you don't get COVID-19. You got to start keeping the laws of the Lord, right? The heathens, they're gonna get it if the Lord wants to give it to them regardless. Like, it doesn't matter if they wear a mask. The Lord he's plaguing the earth right now for the crimes that the heathens have committed against the children of Israel, right? So let's get back some more. Here's a look at how deadly COVID-19 is compared with several other causes of death in the U.S. to get a more balanced picture, right? We took the 5-year annual average ending in 2018, the latest available year of data for most cases. right? So thinking that to wear a mask is how you're gonna so con throughout the officer Darash, thinking thinking that wearing a mask is gonna cure and save you from the plagues that the Most High wants to send is not gonna happen. Only His word, these laws, statutes, and commandments is gonna save you, right? If I may, I'm gonna go into a scripture. Bear with me a second. We're gonna go to Deuteronomy 28, 61. Also, every wickedness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, when will Salakia, of this law, then will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Right? So this right here, this chapter, Deuteronomy 28, it tells you of the things that are going to befall the children of Israel for not keeping the Lord's statutes and commandments. COVID-19 is one of those plagues that's not written in the Bible, but is here, right? Diabetes, cancer, just any sickness that plagues black Hispanics and Native Americans is what's going to befall if you're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, right? Let's get some more of that article. In less than 10 months, COVID-19 has killed more people. Salakia, we're already there. Where we at? Right here. Here's a look at how deadly COVID-19 is compared with several other causes of death in the U.S. You know what? We read that part already. Let's go down. So we can see the car crashes right here. We'll go to the stats. Car crashes and COVID-19, right? So the yearly car crashes or car accidents is 24,000, about roughly 24,000. COVID-19 deaths is 250,000. Right? So you're seeing it right here that COVID-19 is killing more people in the US than car crashes, and that is 10 times more, right? Coronavirus has killed 250,000 people in the US in less than 10 months, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. So right here, your oppressor is telling you that COVID-19 is killing you more in the ghetto than car crashes. COVID-19 is killing you more in the barrios and on the reservations than car crashes, right? I know you're wondering why this evil is befalling you. It's because you're not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, right? You got to start keeping those laws, statutes, and commandments. And as soon as you start keeping those laws, statutes, and commandments, and you come in the I.S.U.P.K and you become a new, that's when the COVID-19 is not going to get you. So let's go to Psalms 91 right quick. Take you to Psalms 91 right quick, and we'll show you the evils that's befalling you, right? So in the I.S.U.P.K, like, evil don't befall us in the I.S.U.P.K. We're not getting murdered in these streets, and we're not getting the COVID-19 and these other diseases. We're not committing crimes, so we're definitely not going to jail, right? So Psalms 91 and 10. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Right? So in the I.S.U.P.K, you could basically say that we're safe from the COVID-19 and the plagues and the wrath of the Lord, because we're keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments. We're keeping His high holy days, right? Feast of Dedications is coming up. It's less than a month away. We're not celebrating Christmas or Thanksgiving, which is the slaughter of the slaughter of our people? How could you celebrate the slaughter of the Native Americans every year and expect the Lord to be on your side and be protecting you? Right? So I'm gonna bring that back one more time. Psalms 91. There shall no Psalms 91 and 10. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Right? So when you start keeping these laws and you get in the I.S.U.P.K and you put on all black for your 90 days, and this is for the men, and you get a name, no evil befalls thee. No one's in the streets trying to murder you. Right? You won't be selling drugs to your people, so you won't be in fear of going to jail when you get pulled over, because you know the police, they pull us over for any reason anyways. Right? Let's get back to this article. On average, 24,166 people die each year in car crashes, according to data from the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration. The number includes drivers or passengers killed in car crashes, not others such as bicycles or pedestrians who were killed as the result of car crashes. That means at least 10 times more people have died from COVID-19 so far this year than car crashes typically do over an entire year. Right? So the Lord is showing you, like, you gotta start fearing the Lord. And it's like we're not fearing the Lord enough. Our people, we're not fearing the Lord enough that you don't understand that the Lord is he's pleading with you right now and trying to tell you to basically, like, come back to your heritage, come back to your culture. Don't be like the heathens. Like, you got to come back to who you are. Come back to keeping his laws and his statutes and commandments. Don't provoke the Lord to this anger. That he's angry right now. He's plaguing the earth. Like, we're about to go, especially in Toronto, we're in that second wave right now. In Ontario, we're in that second wave. Everything's getting locked down. There's heavier restrictions. Things were supposed to open up the past weekend, and we're on restrictions for another 28 days. Right? Let's get some more of this article. This is just a chart. The flu deaths and the COVID-19 deaths. So the flu deaths, it looks like 42,000 compared to the 250,000 from the COVID-19. On average, an average of 42,200 people die from the flu each year from 2014 through to 2018. So that's the average, 42,200 people from 2014 to 2018, according to the data from the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. So in less than 10 months, COVID-19 deaths have reached more than 5 times the average number of annual flu deaths. Right? So COVID-19 is taking our people out. It's taking out the heathens as well. Right? I'm gonna bring you like these sicknesses that usually just get us sick. Like, especially for some of our older people, like the flu sometimes is killing them, but the COVID-19 is drastically destroying them. Right? So let's jump right to Exodus. I got like, we got to get back to the Lord. And the Lord, once we get back to the Lord and we start keeping his laws and statutes and commandments, he's going to basically take all our sicknesses away. He's going to make sure that you're not sick and that you're not afraid or being plagued by COVID-19. Right? He's going to make sure your oppressors aren't over you once you start getting back to the Lord. He's going to make sure that your oppressors aren't killing you once you come back to the Lord. right? So let's go to Exodus 20:23 and 25. And ye shall serve the Lord your God, right? So you got to serve the Lord your God, not just like the Christians do, where it's hallelujah, hallelujah, Jesus and Jesus blood. Like that's not how you serve the Lord. You gotta do something. You gotta sacrifice. You gotta take yourself out of the world. You gotta start keeping his laws and his statutes and his commandments. And it's not hard to keep those laws, statutes, and commandments. You just gotta the Christian will tell you that it's hard because they want you in sin, right? The Christians don't care about you. They just want your money. That pastor, he just wants to drive around in a Benz and rock a three-piece suit and sleep with the deacon's wife, right? Serve the Lord your God, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of thee. Right. So that's telling you right now, you want this COVID to go. You don't want to fall victim to COVID, and you don't want to fall victim to cancer. Well, stop smoking cigarettes, start keeping his law. Stop smoking weed, start keeping his law. You don't want to fall victim to high blood pressure. Stop eating that pork, shrimp, and that nasty lobster. That like why are you eating sea roaches? Like you eating sea roaches, but you might as well go under your fridge. Just move your fridge a little, because every ghetto house, every house in the black neighborhood, in these ghettos that are basically destroyed, that are in squalor, have roaches. Like, so why aren't you eating the roaches behind your fridge? Right? So you got to stop. You got to stop eating the unclean foods. Come back to the Lord, right? And he'll take the sickness away from the midst of thee. Let's get back to this article a little. Where we at? So in less than 10 months, COVID-19 deaths have reached more than 5 times the average number of annual flu deaths. The new coronavirus isn't just deadlier than the flu. It's also much more contagious than the flu, right? So the Lord is showing you, like, you can't go to war like the Lord goes to war. Like Esau thinks that dropping a little mustard gas in the field is chemical warfare. Nah, the Lord got his own chemical warfare right here. This COVID-19, this is his chemical warfare. You can't fight the Lord. Your arms are too short to box with God. How you gonna try and fight the Lord? Right? So the only thing you can do is fear the Lord and start keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. Like, so you got, like, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You gotta keep the Lord's statutes and commandments. You move like you don't fear him at the moment. Right? Let's get some more. Like, COVID-19 is even passing suicide deaths. Right? So uh the number of COVID-19 deaths is now 5 times higher than the deaths by suicide each year. On average, 45,439 people die by suicide from 2014 through 2018, according to the CDC data. Researchers from New York University are concerned the numbers of suicides will be higher in 2020 due to pandemic stress. Heart disease and COVID-19. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S. An average of 670,595 people die from heart disease each year, according to the CDC data. While COVID-19 isn't expected to surpass heart disease in the number of deaths over an entire year, the daily death toll from COVID-19 could soon outpace the daily death rate from heart disease. Right? So, like, COVID-19 is deadlier than the heart disease. Like, the only thing you could really do is basically you gotta come out of the oppressor system. Take yourself away. Like get in the ISUPK and help your people. Like you gotta not celebrate the heathens days, and you gotta especially not voting. The Lord was mad when you voted. If you voted for Justin Trudeau, the Lord was mad. If you voted for any party in Canadian politics, the Lord was mad. Our Judite brothers and sisters down south, if they voted for Trump or Joe Biden, the Lord was mad because he gave us a king, right? So we just got to keep his laws and basically keep his laws. Again, I stress to you, start keeping the Lord's laws. He's definitely nothing to play with. The Lord ain't no joke. Stop playing with him, right? Like come out of her, come out of America and her system. I'm gonna leave you with this Revelations 18:4. And I heard another voice from the heathen saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." Right? And COVID-19 is definitely a plague. Crack in the black neighborhoods is a plague. That Christianity is a plague. Like you gotta come out. You gotta come out. And moreover, like there's earthquakes, there's hurricanes that's devastating the Caribbean right now and South America. Those are damn near from the Lord, and he's trying to tell you to come out of the heathen's ways and come back. Like stop being a Gentile and come back to him. Like the Lord gets angry. He has emotions too. He don't provoke him to jealousy, and don't provoke his wrath. Like his wrath and his anger is not like you haven't seen anger until you seen what the Lord will do. The Lord cracks open the earth. He sends plagues. He sends tempests and whirlwinds, hurricanes to destroy us. Right? Let's get back into this. Where are we gonna go? He cited the University of Washington Institute for Death Metrics and Evaluation, which has projected COVID-19 will kill 2,500 people in the U.S. a day in January. Good night. They're saying 2,500. That's damn near a whole neighborhood. That's damn near a whole neighborhood a day. Right? So you gotta come out of here. I'm gonna read this one more time. Revelations 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." Right? So come out of the culture of the heathens. Come out of this system that we're living in. Like I'm not sure if it's Thanksgiving in the States right now, but Thanksgiving is coming up. And if you're gonna sit down and eat that turkey, that's a sin. You're celebrating the culture of the heathens and the murder of the Gadites and the rest of our brothers and sisters of the northern kingdom that our oppressors Esau. The devil the Bible speaks of. He murdered them and slaughtered them, and every time he would go out and slaughter them, they would have a feast. That like our oppressors is bloodthirsty. That's why they eat their steak bloody like the way they do. If it's not bloody, they don't want it. Right? They have a bloodthirst, and every time they would murder our people, they would have a feast. Our people showed them how to survive these harsh winters and how to survive the over here in the Americas, and they turned around and killed them and slaughtered them and threw our babies on stones. Right? Let's like you continue, and this is basically why America is going through these plagues. This is why the whole world right now is going through these plagues. This is not just in America, like in all over the world, in Europe, in England, wherever we were, that's where they killed and slaughtered and murdered us. In the Caribbean, that's where they killed and slaughtered and murdered us. Right. So let's jump down to Revelations 18:8 right quick. Right? There shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning, famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord who judge her, right? So this is telling you what's going to happen to Babylon the Great's daughter, right? Like the daughter of Babylon, which is America today. This is telling you what's going to happen to her for all the plagues, for all the Salakia, all the murder, and all the torture, all the trauma that they've given the children of Israel. Our blood stained America so much, stained the Caribbean so much, stained the in North America. Like everywhere we go, our blood falls, and because of that, the Lord is sending these plagues. But that doesn't mean you don't have to keep the law. You got to keep the law. Just because you're Israel doesn't mean you can't fall victim to these plagues just the same. Because you can sure bet that the people in the ghetto are dying because of our oppression right now, and especially in America, we don't have the best health care. So the people in America are dying, right? They're dying because the our oppressor is so greedy that they have the money to make sure everybody in America gets free health care or adequate health care. That's not the BS that the people in the ghetto have to go through. Like good night, like the Gadites and the rest of our northern kingdoms on the reservations, like they don't even have running water, so you could only imagine what their healthcare is like, right? So let's read this one more time. Verse 8, there shall her plagues come in one day, right? Death and mourning, famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. Right? So that's letting you know, like the Lord's judgment is strong. His might is strong. This is a man of war. You have to understand this is warfare, and you better get on the side of the winner. Like I know that if there's a war going on, I gotta be on the side of the winner, and the winner is the Most High. He's winning. Like Trump said that you're fighting an invisible enemy. Well, we worship the invisible God, and He's mighty. Right? Let's jump to Isaiah 60. Let's jump to the book of Isaiah right quick, right? Because the Lord's been warning us, and He's been pleading with us since the past, since we've been sinning. The Lord's been pleading with us, right? So you have to understand that this is not the first plague. The Lord sent plagues in Egypt. This is not the last plague. There's going to be more plagues. Like the Spanish flu came and it devastated the island of Jamaica, right? And then it disappeared, right? And still the children of Israel, my Benjamite brothers and sisters, still kept sinning. Right, and these are the things that your Christian pastor, he dropped the ball during coronavirus. He's not telling you this. Like your Christian pastor shut the doors on you this coronavirus during the lockdown, during the quarantine. The I.S.U.P.K, our doors were wide open for our people. We were out there for our people, right? Your Christian pastors, they don't care about you. They only want the money. And they're not telling you that these plagues are coming. They're not telling you you got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to avoid these plagues. So let me get you right quick, right? This is Isaiah 66 and 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, right? So by fire and by his sword. COVID-19 is his sword. He's pleading with all flesh right now that we come back to him. All Israelite flesh. Let me clarify that. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He's pleading with us right now that we come back to him. Right? And our oppressors, all you really have to do is free up the children of Israel. Stop oppressing us. Right? And maybe the Lord might have some mercy on you. Maybe the Lord might lift these plagues. But because you're too ignorant and you think that you are God, that's why you painted yourself as Yahweh. You think that you're God. You're not gonna free us up and have mercy on us and free up the children of Israel. So the Lord has to send his plagues, COVID-19, to beat you up a little and plead with you, right? And the slain of the Lord shall be many. Well, damn, 250,000 deaths in 1 year from one respiratory disease, right? And the slain shall be many, right? Like, how many Black, Hispanics, and Native American people do you think make up that number of of that 250,000 for this year, right? The slain shall be many. Like, you got to think about it. Like we dying in the ghettos every day. Every day, you know someone who's dying in the ghetto. They're either getting shot, they're either ODing on drugs, or they're dying from some sickness that they shouldn't be dying from, right? Let's see if we got any more of this article. What that means, particularly speaking, is that COVID-19 could be the single leading cause of death in the United States on a daily basis, right? So we're gonna stop right there. And again, you gotta keep the Lord's you gotta keep the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. Israel, Black, Hispanic, and Native American, you gotta come back to the Lord, start serving the Lord. Like, take yourself away from the from this society and the heathen culture. Like, you can't be celebrating the heathens' unholy days. They're not high holy days. They're not the high holy days found in Leviticus, right? The Lord gave us some high holy days. Like, tune in over the next month. You're gonna see us celebrating the high holy day of dedication, which is Hanukkah. You can find that in the Apocrypha, right? And once you start celebrating your high holy days and come back to your culture and start fearing the Lord, most important, you gotta fear the Lord and practice his laws, statutes, and commandments. You gotta do his laws, statutes, and commandments. You can't be out there selling your people drugs. You can't be out there murdering your brother. You can't be, like, sisters, you can't be out there taking on 10 husbands. Right? You have to fear the Lord and come back to him, and that's how you'll get out of these plagues. Right? So again, I'm Officer of 50 Zabaja of the I.S.U.P.K. Started out 125th, 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA since 1960, established 1969. And we salute you, salute the brothers and sisters. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatha to the brothers. Yahweh Salakia, Yahweh Shamar Ilatha Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. Again, we are the I.S.U.P.K. Shalom.